Khan said that the new music of the new religion of the future won't be a religion, it will be a music. That means that all scriptures and stuff will go into the spheres and it would be a music. Because basically they say heaven is within, so obviously music has to play a vital part in that. You understand what I'm saying? I talked about how in the Book of Thoth, Alex Carter's Book of Thoth, they mention it once, we don't hear it that much until Richard King talks about it, the Barahadna chakra, which is a chakra of inner ear melanin. The Barahadna chakra. And it talks about that, and it says that the Horus lock, which is the god Horus, the Horus lock is not that it said that the Horus lock that you see here, you get the word warlock later on. This is the baby Jesus or the baby Horus. Take your pick. Because guess what? I know the conscious people don't want to hear this, but guess what? The people in the church worshiping Jesus, they right on track. It's still Horus wherever you put it. So it doesn't matter based on the name. You see what I'm saying? And that's the only level that they can go to. Otherwise they would be in here, but in so many words, they still get it. When you look on a bigger picture, the spirit world say everything is as it's supposed to be. That's right. So in our honesty, through the Jesus story, they are in on the Horus story. It's not a tragedy. It's just the version of what would come from slaves and what was given to them, but the white boy didn't give them some stuff that gave them the same stories. So the baby Jesus or the baby heart, either way you got to become this. And I'm going into this in a few minutes. But just the Horus lock is, they said it is not indicating the lock of hair, it's indicating what's inside of the ear, called the Barahadna chakra, and Richard King called it the inner ear nucleus. Is the doorway to the temple. And it's all based on your music. That's the key. The religion is the music. Whatever floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? Me, I got all kinds. I get albums because I got turntables and stuff. I get albums for $1.50. And because they're so cheap, I got me some damn Johnny Cash. I said, why do I like this shit? Come to find out Johnny Cash got all his shit from black people. That's right. That Ring of Fire, that's some good shit. And it's mythology. There's one song where they say, it's in the West, and the mama telling this boy, don't take your guns to town. Leave your guns at home. And he takes the gun to town and get his ass killed. That's mythology. You see what I'm saying? You're going to find out that the origins of country music, and the PBS did a special late one night, that country music came out of a group of hillbilly black bands that died out by the 1930s because the music industry said, well, we'll choose the blues to record in the Smithsonian. We won't record the black hillbilly music. And that's what trained the white folks. The hillbilly music from black people and the church. Country music is niggerized. It's ours. And they got a guy, let you know they do ritual. They got a little short guy, I can't think his name, on the Grand Ole Opry. He used to come out with a harmonica, and he would open up the Grand Ole Opry every time they did a thing. He would come out and open up for him. He was like the Tahuti or the Anubis or the Ganesha. He was the opener of the way. It was a ritual. But the black hillbilly music didn't get recorded. They said, we'll do the blues, and the white folks took that. So Johnny Cash, I said, why am I buying this shit? Because it ain't nothing but blues. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, I have multiple things from Duke Ellington. You see what I'm saying? The Cameo. I got it all. You see, but my point here is the music, and guess what? You get old when you start listening to music. What happens? You listen to music when you're young, and you get old, you start listening to it. And when you start listening to it, that's when you die. The music is the key. That's the Orpheus. And here's the harvest, and they say it's in the ear. And they won't put this stuff in books. Crowley mentions it once in his Book of Thoth. He mentions it once in the section called the Fool. The Fool is the first in the Tarot deck. It's the Egyptian Tarot, the Book of Thoth, the Egyptian Tarot. He mentions it because the Tarot system came to Europe by the Moors. They brought the Tarot, and the playing cards came out of the Tarot. You see what I'm saying? Because you know they got divination where you can divine from playing cards. Call it destiny card books. You see what I'm saying? All that stuff was science of the Moors. They got it out of the Library of Alexandria. You see what I'm saying? Now, so, they talk about their Varahadna chakra and also the inner ear melon. Going back, the music is one of the keys. It's one of the keys. You see,